When Elden Ring Nightreign was first revealed, one of the biggest takeaways was seeing this big boy right here, the Nameless King. By far one of the toughest bosses I've beaten, especially early on in my Souls-like career, so to speak. Not only did he give me the business, but so did that camera. If you know, you know. And as we know, Elden Ring Nightreign is taking the Souls series and flipping it on its head, with a roguelike experience in which 3 co-op partners have to work together to survive whatever is thrown at them, and that means bosses included.
Thrown together by forces beyond their control.
So what other bosses could potentially be thrown our way? It's fun to think about, and so I figured I'd do a bit of a wish list, and of course, see what you guys think about it. So let's start with the obvious one that I really want to see, and that is the Tree Sentinel, because we just didn't see him enough. Yeah, I'm just kidding. You know, this joke was the first thing I wrote down when writing ideas for this video, and I was laughing to myself like, that's a good one. Only to see that the Tree Sentinel is actually already confirmed for Nightreign, so yeah. Son of a bitch. Here's the rest of the confirmed bosses, by the way, and wow, when I tell you my eyes got big at this one, sheesh. So let's talk about this more. All hypothetical lore plot holes and things that wouldn't make sense aside, what other bosses would you guys like to see? If we think about Elden Ring first, I wouldn't mind seeing Malenia coming back better than ever. Who wouldn't want that, right? Especially with the different abilities that we're going to be picking up along the way. That's probably the boss I want to face again under these circumstances. But as we go back in time to the previous games, that's where things get much more interesting. We know that Dark Souls 3 is going to provide us the Nameless King again. We're going to be seeing this fight again, and it's going to be awesome. But Dark Souls 3 is packed with amazing bosses, and it's often regarded as the best Dark Souls because of that. I would love any of them to return, to be honest, but if we're giving names, it's really hard for me to say no to the opportunity to see Pontiff. Good old Pontiff. I would love to see him in Nightreign just because of the fact that he has multiples of him that come in and do these aerial attacks, and I just think that would be awesome to see. And given the open world type of environments that are in Elden Ring, I just think it would be fun to fight a boss like this because you never really know who he's going to hit if you're playing with co-op partners, and that's where the fun comes from. However, the only thing that really can trivialize Pontiff is if one of your party members is a master at parrying, because a good parry will bring Pontiff down easier in Dark Souls 3. However, having 3 players in there, again, not knowing who Pontiff is going to go after, I think is the fun part and where the excitement will come from. And that notion of not knowing who that boss is going to hit at any given moment will translate to all of the bosses in general. And of course, that goes with co-op in general. But having it in this environment with the roguelike elements, I think is just going to add a total refresher to these bosses and how it feels, and it's almost going to be like fighting them again for the first time. I also really love the Lothric and Lorien boss fight in Dark Souls 3. This is my ultimate favorite boss in the game, and probably one of my top 5 Souls bosses of all time. I love the disappearing act that they do, going up for an attack and then slamming down from a different direction. Dodging this move is absolute peak Souls in my opinion. Not to mention the music is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm just so biased for Dark Souls 3. I love Dark Souls 3, it's my favorite. So honestly, any boss will do. I just want to see more. As we did see in the confirmed bosses for Nightreign, the Duke's dear Freya from Dark Souls 2 will be there. This picture right here looks absolutely sick, and I'm a big fan of Dark Souls 2 as well, so I want to see this along with more bosses if they can. Dark Souls 2 is tricky though. There are some bosses that are kind of ridiculous. Imagine the covetous demon in Nightreign. I seriously can kill this boss with my eyes closed in the main game. He is not even a boss, if we're being honest. So imagine how fast he would go down in Nightreign. But Jabba the Hutt aside, there are a couple that would be fun to see return. Throw our farm god in there, the giant lord. He's huge, and that sword slam is crazy. And so if they spiced him up a bit, made his awareness for up to 3 players and his attack swings a bit more refined, and we got ourselves a fun boss to take down again. The Pursuer would be a great idea too, even as just a mini boss if they wanted. Drop him in on us as we're entering a new area and scare the crap out of us. I think that would just be really fun. As for Dark Souls 1, we know the Centipede Demon will be there, but I could go for some Ornstein and Smo. I seriously want some revenge on the hell that they caused me. I want to bully these two with my co-op partners watching, because man, I need that. And as for Demon Souls, go ahead and throw the Tower Knight in there just because he's huge too. Put a bunch of archers in there that could be super annoying. Yes, possibly very, very annoying, but man, it would be good too. But the one I really, really want to see would be the Penetrator, because if I'm thinking even crazier, I would want him and the Pursuer teamed up and me looking like this, because that would be nuts. Of course, we cannot forget Bloodborne. Talk about my imagination going wild. And apparently this boss Gladius, the 3-headed wolf armed with the chainsword in the trailer, is an unused Bloodborne boss that was cut out of the game. So that gives us the idea that Bloodborne is very much welcomed in Nightreign. And it's possible for us to see more of its bosses. And that, of course, is very much welcomed by me. I would love to see the Cleric Beast. I would love to see Orphan of Kos. And go ahead and throw Abretus in there because I would like some revenge on that boss too. That was the hardest boss for me in my first Bloodborne run. So to see it return would be pretty sick. I honestly would just love to see any Bloodborne bosses. Just throw anything in there, I'll be happy. The best part about what From Software is doing with Nightreign and bringing back some of these bosses from the past is that they could literally do this for years if they wanted to. They have so many bosses, and unused ones at that, where they can drop them in future updates. And this essentially could be From Software's live service game that continuously brings us content, whether it be new weapons, new gear, cosmetics, and of course, bosses. So I'm just excited to see this game when it's finally out. We got the network test around the corner, and I seriously cannot wait to play it. I need this game. I really want to see what it turns out to be in all of its glory. All right, so what do you guys think? Do you have any bosses that you would have on your wish list? Is there something that is just so crazy in your brain that you would love to see come to fruition? Tell me in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think, and more Elden Ring Nightreign content is on the way. All right, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye. The best part about From Software doing... The best part about what From Software is doing with Nightreign oh my gosh. The best part about...